Three, real life. Awesome. I think real life.
We are live. Hello,
Yes.
Shantanu.
Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, Vibhor, or good afternoon.
It's good afternoon right now, right? But it's getting towards evening. But in this
Okay.
time period, we all again now when we are in this time slot, right? So we are covering a lot of different time zones all over the world. So in India, where you're calling in from, it's already pretty late evening,
Yeah. hundred
and
percent.
in Europe, yeah, in Europe it's like 6:30. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
Europe it's like 6:30, and in the US now we are able to cover both coasts more effectively than we did before. So that's pretty cool. Let's wait a minute or two for more people to join us as always. So that's going to be fun.
Yep, 100%. I think today's topic and today's point of discussion is super interesting. And this has been something that we have been working for so long, autonomous agents. And
Hmm.
specifically, you're throwing your superpower on top of it. So I'm super excited for today's. And also, we have a sneak peek and a quick rundown of what we did last month. And yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for this one. So maybe we can kickstart once we have a few more people join in.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so generally what we are going to do today, we will show, as you just said, we will try to give everyone a, like a blitz overview of the things that we launched and did in August. So we posted our changelog today, but today I'm going to ask actually Zencoder to suggest what we should show you. And then we will go and show you a little bit more about the autonomous agents, especially in the cases of how we integrate them with Jira, with GitHub, and how they can raise PRs for you, how they can even review those PRs for you. So something that's typically done in a number of enterprise scenarios. We will be jumping between different code bases. We will be starting with something in Markdown, and then we will switch to Java. I will deliberately try to confuse the agent just to give the review agent more job. I hope this is not going to be something that will, avenge itself. But if everything works well, that should be fine. I see Daniel has joined us. Hi, Daniel. Good afternoon to you as well. You are one of our regulars. It is awesome to see you. So yeah, a lot of things on our plate that we would like to cover today. We will also tell you what we are going to do for the next webinar in a minute or two. So I don't know, Shantanu, if you feel like it, I think we can just start if you're down for it.
Yes, just give me a second. I'll just quickly, I think just 30 seconds and then we can kickstart if you're okay.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, no problem. Sounds very good. Sounds very good. We should be just fine.
Okay, all set. I was just configuring something to the background. Okay, perfect. I think we are all set. Perfect. So once again, thank you so much, Vibhor, for joining in today. I'm super excited for what we're going to discuss. So without wasting much time, I think I'll just hand it over to you to dive deep into August and what we did in the August month and what all super exciting stuff that we pushed out and launched, and then move into the autonomous agents overview and demo. So yeah, the stage is all yours, Vibhor.
Thank you, man. Let me just share my screen. You know the drill. I'll keep asking you if everyone has the questions because I will not be seeing it. So I will definitely count on you, my man,
Sure.
to tell me that everything is going well. Share entire screen. Um, are you able to see the
Yes.
changelog? Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So, August was super busy for us. Some of the things that I used to daydream about, we now finally have them. And you can find this changelog in our documentation. I'm not going to read all of it here for you, but there's an analytics dashboard, web dev agent. I will show a bunch of these things. What I'm actually going to do, I will go and ask Zencoder to suggest, some of these things that we should or we could show. I will also give you a quick sneak peek of how we basically write these things and do the documentation in this entire process um, at Zencoder. So I'm assuming you can still see my VS Code here. Right now I have this markdown file here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ask Zencoder. Yeah, I will switch to Opus 4.1. I like that model a lot. and I will just tell it, hey, check the August 2025 changelog. I'm doing a live demo right now and suggest maybe 3 or 4 things from that changelog that you think would be demo worthy that I can show to our audience right now. And let's see what Zencoder will suggest to me. It should be able to find this file and suggest a couple of those things. Obviously, I'm not going to show every single thing, but let's see what Zencoder thinks would be the demo-worthy things here. Okay, so far I like the way how he's thinking. Analytics dashboard, web dev agent, GPT support and enhanced model selector, Zen rules. Okay, all right, let's do those in no specific order. So one of the things that we added and improved, you can see it here. We improved our model selector. So now, for example, depending on the plan that you're on, and these things will depend on if you're using legacy plans, you might not have access to it. But if you're on some of our newer plans, and depending on the different ones, you will have access to a number of different agents from the default one, Zencoder one that actually uses like a bunch of them in the background, to giving you more granularity of selecting, which one you want to use. So what we recently added was GPT-5. We launched it less than 24 hours since it was launched, and also Gemini 2.5 Pro. So Gemini 2.5 Pro is our most cost-effective offering that we have right now. It comes at just 0.75 of the unit cost, while Opus 4.1, which is available on our advanced plan and also on our newly introduced Max plan, comes at 7.5x cost, but it is a really, really beautiful model, super powerful, allows you to do a lot of great things. And, that was the one that I used when I asked it, help me go through this, change logs just to show things quickly. So that's the one thing. You can select a bunch of different models. You can also use your own key for Anthropic models and for OpenAI models. We will be adding support for Google models soon, but for now, it is for those available. Other thing that we now also have improved are our Zen rules. So by Zen rules, we talked about them earlier. They allow users to basically guide the model, guide the Zencoder itself, and make it more precise and better following the specific styles and instructions that you have, right? So it might be like a top level instructions, like, hey, I want you to reply to me in Croatian language or in Hindi or whatever, or I want you to use very specific coding styles if you're working with TypeScript files or with Markdown files and so on. Now we also expose that a little bit now, so you can always see with clicking on this icon which of the Zen rules are automatically applied here. So repo MD, that's the one that's generated by repo info agent, or my custom one. However, if I want to attach or create a new one, now with Zen rules, that's even easier. So I can just go here, attach context, go to Zen rules, and it will even allow me to create a new one just by clicking here on plus, which is a new rule. And here I can add pretty much everything that I need to for this specific rule. Pretty awesome, pretty useful. It is one of the things that we wanted to launch and show you. However, what is really cool is that we are aware that most engineers are using not just Zencoder, but sometimes they will jump between different other tools. Now Zencoder has the ability to read rules from other tools as well, and this is something that's available in VS Code and in JetBrains. So if I were to go here and click Settings, and if I scroll all the way down, there are our rule folders. So it will go to check for .ai rules, cursor, client, windsurf, continue, and so on. And you can, of course, expand this. Let me kill this one. You can, of course, expand this and add other custom folders where you believe or where you are keeping your rules, or maybe some other tools are saving them there. So yeah, that's one of the things that we wanted to do and show you. It is, as I said, available in JetBrains and also available in VS Code. So that was it. The other thing that was mentioned here was the analytics dashboard, right? So a lot of people have asked us, is there a way for me? How can I track how people are using and interacting with Zencoder? Can I see, what programming languages are being used and so on? And we listened, and we actually developed something like that for you. So we have our analytics dashboard. We documented it here. And what it does, it provides you with a lot of details. So you can see the active number of users. You can see, number of users through the time. which IDs they are using, in which programming languages, when were they last active, number of agent messages sent, and so on. This was one of the biggest requirements and asks from our enterprise customers. And if you have other ideas and what would you like us to do, and how to improve and get most value from Zencoder Analytics in terms of code generated, code accepted, and so on, do let us know. That is something that obviously we would like to continue improving. I think also Zencoder suggested that I show you a new agent that we developed. That's our web dev agent that can work nicely with Figma integration. Let me check. I think I have something like that here. React web dev agent. I think I was playing with that one before. Yeah, it's here. So here under our agent selector, so yeah, we redesigned that part as well. You can select web dev. So web dev agent is one of the specific new agents that we created that allows users to build websites, software as a SaaS solutions, and it excels at working with React, with Vue, Angular, Vanilla JS, whatever you wanted in terms of the modern web technologies. It also what makes it really awesome is that you can integrate it nicely with Figma MCP, for example, and import some Figma designs. It can also create and learn and read designs or just screenshots or images, and it will also create a lot of end-to-end tests for you when it builds a web solution for you. So automatically it will use Playwright and create a bunch of those for you. Shantanu, I think this might actually be a good moment for us to say what we are going to be doing on our next webinar. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I think Web Dev Agent is one of the most awaited agents that we've launched last month, and
Mm-hmm.
super helpful. I mean, I also remember one of the instances when I was doing a demo, people loved it. The way it seamlessly integrates with MCPs, Figma pulling
Yeah.
up, lovely. So yeah, I think we should.
Yeah. Okay. So next week, guys, if you join us, and I hope you would, we will be showing you how to get the most out of web dev agents. So if you're a web developer or an agency or someone who needs to build a websites or web solutions and also wants to ship not just vibes, but in that case, with the full end-to-end testing coverage and so on, in that case, web dev agent is something that should be awesome for you. So here there is a prompt that, what I wanted it to build, and it actually built something in React for me, created the entire structure. But what I really liked, as I said, it created all the tests for me. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil this. I will show you more about these things next week when we see each other, and then we were going to be talking more about the web dev agent, one of the cool things that we just launched in August. And I think this pretty much sums it up, everything that Zencoder wanted me to show you. Yeah. One other thing that I want to show you guys is, and we kept mentioning about this, is multi-repo. So Zencoder has the ability to search across different repositories, even the ones that are not opened here. So let me show you how that works. Here I'm in our documentation folder, in our documentation repository, right? So it's not really, nothing else is open here. It's just our docs. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Zencoder if it can do the following. Hey, buddy, can you use the multi-repo search and tell me which repositories do you currently have access to? List them all. So in number of different enterprise environments, you will likely be working across a number of different repositories, right? Not necessarily the ones that are currently opened in your IDE, but you might want to have or learn or get more information about those different repositories. You might even want to ask Zencoder to implement, let's say, authentication flow or something from one of those repos in your current repo. So what I'm going to currently do, and this is basically leading us to this part when I'm going to show you like our autonomous agents. I'll be working with this one, with the core geo network. So that's the Java repository. What I'm going to do here, I will just go and ask Zencoder. Okay, I see these repos. Those are cool. Can you tell me more about the core geo network? What is it all about? And maybe create me an ASCII diagram of its architecture. So again, keep in mind, I'm still currently in our docs, right? So I did not open this, somewhere in the background of Visual Studio Code and, asking for it. I'm just expecting that, it will be smart enough to figure out that because, it has it indexed, and I will show you a little bit behind the scenes look of that. And it will use multi-repo search tool, and it will try to get this entire understanding of the specific repository for me. This is a Java repo. You will see about that in a moment, and that's the one that I'll be performing the rest of the demo in. I just wanted to show this case, right? You can be in any IDE, you can be working on pretty much any programming language, and you can still have this access to multiple different repositories. While it's working on this, Shantanu, do we have any questions so far, or we are good?
We are all good, but we don't have any more questions.
Okay, right. So what is GeoNetwork? As I said, it created this entire overview for me. I'll just expand this a little bit. It listed the key features, and it even created this nice, like the architectural diagram for me, which is pretty nice. I'll just expand it. So you can see there's a client layer, web presentation layer, business service layer. So it's a pretty complex repository. You see a bunch of services with the Elasticsearch search engine build, external integrations, and you see here now the technology stack. It's Java 11 plus, Spring Framework, Spring Boot, Spring Security, a bunch of other things that are available here. And now, if I were to open this in IntelliJ IDEA, this is that project, right? So it is one of the index projects here, and Zencoder was able to tell me more about it. Even, as I said, it was in a completely separate IDE. It was not related or opened from the one in the VS Code. So this is one of the use cases that I like to show a lot, and we have a bunch of fans of multi-repo indexing and search at company because they're, as I said, they're allowing very complex and very powerful scenarios here. Now, imagine a case where you want to take an even additional step and you want to get out of the IDE itself in total. So I showed you VS Code. I'm now currently showing you stuff in JetBrains in IntelliJ. What if I don't want to use IDEs? What if I want to, work by using autonomous agents? That is something that now you can do with Zencoder, and it is actually super powerful, pretty neat. And let me show you how it works. So we can start by, I have my Jira open here, and I have a bunch of tasks that are, relevant for me. And a couple of those tasks are related to these Java files. So one of them is GeoNetwork Java, other one is session timeout cookie filter. So those are the ones here, GeoNetwork and session timeout cookie filter Java. So, typical Java files. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and solve this task by not even using the IDE, just by basically triggering the autonomous agent. So keep in mind this. I'm showing you here this in Jira because it uses automation, and I will show you more about that automation very quickly. You could have this in number of different tools in linear and a bunch of other options available. And I will also have this done with GitHub. But we have recently, and that's one of the things that we did in August, and you can see it in the changelog. We recently launched support for autonomous agents in GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket, pretty much covering the most of the use cases or most of the platforms of this kind available. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to ask Zencoder and one of the custom agents called Doxygen to add comments to this Java file, and I basically fix it for me. So what I'm going to do, I'll hit labels here. There is Zen agents Java label. And with this, it pretty much should kickstart the entire flow for me in the background. So I can go here to rule builder and just refresh this to see if it is working on it. Give me 1 second. Java UI, oh, sorry, not Java UI. Jira UI can sometimes be a little bit slow, but hopefully everything works fine. Audit log, I think this is the one, 1849. Yeah, that corresponds to it. So it actually updated the work item, sent a web request. And if I now go to my GitHub, I should be able to go to actions. This action should be running. Yeah, run Zencoder agents. That is pretty neat. I'll click here. And there you go. So basically what it did, it is working on this same repository. I will show you that code in a moment. And I asked it, hey, run this custom agent. The custom agent is, help solve this Jira issue Scrum 12 by adding Doxygen comments to it. It is analyzing it. So pretty much this same stuff is something that you would see in IDE, be it JetBrains, be it VS Code. But now this is now happening autonomously as a part of your CI/CD pipeline, meaning that, for example, you can unleash a swarm of agents just by assigning those different labels to different tasks, and those agents will solve a bunch of different issues for you, regardless what you want to do. So you can see here, it is you can see this format of adding some code changes. Everything going well. It should open a pull request for me, and it did it. It's this one here. So I will just try and check this pull request here. There you go. But before I scroll down, here's something pretty cool. Um, we wanted to build a system which can actually tie in together like the entire workflow, right? So this is something that solved this issue for me. It added Doxygen comments, but in most scenarios, be human driven or even now AI assisted or AI supported scenarios, you would need or you would want someone to review this for you. And here we also have an option where once the PR has been opened, it triggers another action that dispatches the PR review agent. So with a little luck, that should be visible here. So if I go here, uh, yeah, there you go. It says, "Thank you for adding documentation to this class. There are some serious issues." But give me 1 second. It's just 3 hours ago. Am I looking at the right PR? Give me 1 second. I want to be sure that I'm showing the right one. 2 minutes ago, this is completed. Agent run. Maybe it was just some issue. The pull request is here. Because probably it's the same stuff. Okay, never mind. So basically what it did, it solved this problem for me. If I go and check, files changed, I can see that it removed stuff. I can also see that it, made those changes. But there are the reviews, right? It says, hey, use this instead of brief for class description. Pretty much just like the human would do, right? It added those reviews for me. So it's a really, really nice thing. As I said, it understands, for example, hey, you need to use the JavaDoc format instead of something else. So whatever you do, you can actually have, once the PR has been opened, you can dispatch this reviewer that will review that PR for you. So this is one way. It will do this following the pull request that has been opened by using the custom agent. If, for example, I were to go to this code and let's say, I don't know, I'll just change our README file. Nothing special. I'll just go here, click Edit File, Features for this demo, and I will say Commit Changes directly to main branch because that's what we do during demos. Oh, no, actually, I shouldn't have done that. I should have actually created it so I can build a pull request. My bad. My bad. I'll do it again. Give me 1 second. Da-da-da. What I want to show you is I want to show you that it can trigger PR review for you, even if you're not using this from, it will just, run it on every open PR, regardless of how you started it, right? So I can just, do it manually, or I can do it through that flow that I showed you with Jira. X2, commit changes, create a new branch here. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Propose changes, saving. Now I will just go and say create pull request. This is what I want to do the first time. And now I have my pull request open here. We see that it's currently working on something. If I go to open readme.md, run Zencoder agent on PR review, right? So it is currently reviewing my PR that I've just opened, right? So it will say check, let me start by examining this pull request details for you. Basically, this one will go without major comments. It will probably just say looks good to me because we told it, and I will show you how that looks like. If you don't encounter any major stuff, you can just tell looks good to me and proceed. Or if we need to make some major changes, tell us about them and we will do it, right? So I think this agent has completed its run. So if I go back to my pull requests, check it here. I'm just curious to see what it said. The change appears to be a test modification. X2 doesn't, okay, it's roasting me. It says doesn't provide any meaningful value and makes the documentation less professional. Fair point. Fair point. That really is such. So I probably should not be merging this PR and I should be reverting it. But the thing is that, as I said, you can trigger those PR, you can trigger this review after those changes, which is really, really nice. How does that look like? For example, if I go to code in our GitHub, we have our workflows. So this review workflow, I will show you here. So basically, review requested once it's opened, right? And then, some of the details of how it's being run and how it's being set up. We will be having more documentation about this available on our docs, so you'll be able to see how that works. And we will be onboarding a bunch of clients during the next week and in the following weeks by giving them access to it. Basically, if you go to auth.zencoder.ai, I will zoom this a little bit. Now, keep in mind that this is not accessible and visible for everyone, so you have to be at least an owner or manager, and I think we only have this on advanced and max plan, might be also on core, I'm not exactly sure. You need to create a connection to your GitHub repo. Well, basically, GitHub, Bitbucket, or GitLab, that's what I just said. So we have this support for different services. Give the connection a name and provide it with a personal access token. All of these services and applications pretty much follow the same approach here. Once done, you will have access to it. So that's what I did here for this GeoInfo, right? So this was the one that I created for the repository that I was just showing you. And then on the repositories, I can just go and add access to this repo by selecting a connection. In my case, this was this GeoInfo connection, provided it with a name. I'll just show you here all those details prepared. Yeah, and it has basically indexed it. So you remember at the beginning of this when I asked it, hey, use the multi-repo search, tell me more about it. This was like the necessary prerequisite for it, right? So that the agent could, be aware of these repositories. It could also check the other repos here that were added by Shantanu and Leon. So that could also work. And then the most relevant part, basically, for this autonomous agency is creation of these autonomous flows, right? So this was the Doxygen flow that I created using the Doxygen agent that has been dispatched. What it creates there, it actually creates a webhook. It works on this repo and uses this agent. Obviously, it will also, once you're creating it, let me show you, for example, if I want to build a new one, yeah, you will need to add, its name, trigger, for now, just webhook, select a repo, and select an agent that you'd like to use. Now, keep one thing in mind. All these agents that you're seeing here, or you will be able to see them here, those are currently our custom agents. And what is really nice, you can still create these agents in your, let's say, VS Code or IntelliJ. So if you just go to Zencoder, go to agents, go to custom and create agent here, all those agents that you build here, you can then run them as your autonomous agents, right? So the ones that I showed you was this Doxygen, but you could create your review agents. You can create a bunch of more complex stuff that you want to run. All you need to do after that is then again build that connection and that flow, and just ask Zencoder to execute it and run that agent in the cloud for you. So you can imagine pretty much orchestrating or building your own army of agents, and then just easily going to your the tool of choice, whether it's Jira or whatnot, and just dispatching them and working on them. And let me show you really quickly here how that, for example, looks like. If I go here, yeah, you can see this is the Zen Agents Java. When I changed the label to Zen Agents Java, I wanted to trigger this web request, basically this webhook, this is the ID of that agent, and then basically it executes it for you. So yeah, as I said, pretty powerful. You can do a lot with this. You can be, you can take a bunch of usual scenarios, I would say, that currently are requiring the people to do, manually review actions, and just dispatch those agents as easy as just changing the label on the card and then just watching those actions happen. Now, as I said, you're not limited just to GitHub, which was the first thing that we supported. Now you can do it on GitLab. You can also do it on Bitbucket. And we are looking forward to improving this overall experience, adding more features. And also, what we are very much interested is learning about the different use cases where you see autonomous agents being deployed and used. So with that, Shantan, I pretty much am done with the parts that I wanted to cover. Do we have any questions or any comments? Something that I missed while I was running through these screens and tabs?
Not major. I think it's mostly people saying hi and hello. But yeah, if in
Okay.
case anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them down. We can bring it up on the screen, and then we can take it up from there.
Yeah, I mean, while we are waiting on that, I might just show, for example, this entire setup for these workflows that we have here, right? So the first one is for this Zencoder agent. It will take the prompt for the agent, ID of the agent itself, and then we have these Zencoder client ID and client secrets. Those are obtained from by going on settings here, and I will not actually click on all the details here because that will be like the production ones. But if you go to settings, you should then be able to find those tokens, and then following that, just add them to your GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket, wherever, however that it is calling, it is storing those secrets and then using them from there. So the essence of all this is this orchestration of different workflows that you have here. Yeah, so the review one is the one that I already described. This is something that I'm not very proud of. This is something that I commented out in a very bad way. So you will excuse me for that. I didn't make changes to it. Should be not done as a multi-line comment and not like this. But still, this workflow actually gets executed, as I said, whenever you open a PR, right? So it doesn't have to be run as an agent, as an autonomous agent. When I was just showing you one here with the updating README MD, I did it manually, literally without even going to an ID, just making changes here, and then I got properly roasted by adding this X2, which really doesn't make any sense. So even if you just go with the review agent, sorry, with the PR reviews, this is already something that can help quite a bit. And it is language agnostic, right? I mean, you can of course make some adjustments to it, prompt it in another direction, but this one actually did follow the best practices and literally said what it is. All right, I think this pretty much covers it.
Yes.
Um, So Daniel says, many new improvements. Glad you're paying attention to our data. We need these amazing improvements. Yeah. So we try. Zencoder, it takes a lot of, I would say we put a lot of emphasis on security and enterprise security. There is a, if you go to trust.zencoder.ai, there is a real-time dashboard of how we are staying compliant. Maybe Shantan, if you can paste the link really quickly here. So there is an entire dashboard showing in real time how we are staying compliant with SOC 2 Type 2, with ISO 27001 and 40001 certificates. Um, Kudos to Olga and Alex who are running this show in the background. So that is pretty awesome. Uh, so yeah, Zencoder takes a really good care of your data, and enterprise. I would say we often say that this enterprise orientation is a part of our DNA, and when dealing and working with large organizations and companies, sometimes dealing with very sensitive data that's related to healthcare, that might be related to government, and so on, you want to be sure that it's in right hands, that your IP, your intellectual property rights stay yours, and that you're not making such claims and so on. So yeah, take a look, explore trust.zencoder.ai, and if you have any questions or if there's more interest about it, let us know. One more thing that I would like to mention as well, something that maybe is not a feature, but we did launch it in August, and I would like to invite you to join, is our Reddit community. So in addition to Discord that we already have, and a bunch of you have already joined, we are now also on Reddit. So we would love to invite you to join our Reddit community. Um, Contribute to it. Stay civil. We have a couple of rules there, but they're like a normal common sense rules. But we would like to have you there as well. So if you have any questions, if you'll have any suggestions, keep us honest. Keep us on our toes as well. We welcome that open and constructive criticism. And also, if you have some ideas or maybe something that you've built and wanted to share with others, obviously we would love to see that as well.
Sounds good. I think I've just posted the link to Reddit subreddit.
Yeah, I see it here. So I hope more people join us there and give us some really interesting feedback and comments there. So yeah, Reddit, Discord, wherever you find us, we'll be happy to engage and have conversations with you. So we will see you in 7 days. We will be talking about the web dev agent, right? We will show you how to build some website. Now, talking about Reddit and Discord, if there is something specific that you would like us to cover related to web dev agent or maybe some of these other things, these would be actually good channels for you to share it with us. Shantanu, do you want to maybe tell a little bit more about that, or
Yeah,
how
yeah.
do you want it? Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if in case you have some ideas that you want us to cover, anything specific, feel free to drop them down in our general channel on Discord, and we'll be more than happy to take that up. Similarly goes with this Reddit as well. Feel free to create a post, suggest us something that you would love to see on the webinar, and we can take it from there. Once again,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Vibor, for joining in. This is super amazing, and thank you everyone for joining in. And from wherever you're dialing in, thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week. Till then,
See
take
you
care.
again, and thanks everyone who is going to be watching this after the live, because we get a bunch of people watching this after live, so everyone could join or who will be rewatching this at any point. See you. Take care.
Okay.